Hey everyone, Scooby-Doo here, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Star Wars decals and stickers. I do use them in different forms for my Empire room and for different builds that I'm making. And so I thought I could make a whole video on just the different types of decals that I use. The first one here is one that you've seen many times before. It's the Star Wars trunk decal that I use for most of all my Star Wars shelves. This is the packaging. And these are really made for your vehicle, like on your trunk. That's why they're called trunk decals. But you can obviously use them for other uses, like Star Wars shelves. And just to show you really quickly, we'll open this up. Well, I'll open it up. It's just made out of plastic, but it looks chrome. And then it comes with self-adhesive on the back, 3M tape. And you just stick it right on. That's what I do with the shelves, is just stick them right on there. And then, of course, I use the acrylic pieces on the sides. But these are actually trunk decals for your vehicle. Also, too, they make other different kind of Star Wars ones. They make this chrome Fett. Same thing, 3M on the back. And so that's the first kind of decal that I use. My second one I use is a vinyl decal, which I also like calling a transfer vinyl decal. I don't know the official name. And we'll take a look at those. And just to mention those last two things I showed you, they're actually hidden Easter eggs. Now, of course, that I brought it up, they're not really a hidden Easter egg anymore. But if you got that, which I probably doubt anybody did, if I have one of these new in the package, that must mean another shelf is coming. And you could just try to guess about this one. But you will see in future videos those in use. So I guess, again, they're not hidden Easter eggs anymore since I brought it up, but oh well. So the next one here is the vinyl transfer decals. You can see here I got 3 of them. And this is actually, I'm going to bring the camera back a little bit. This is for my bridge that goes across my TV. Now, I'll be doing another video when I actually complete the bridge. I've added some lighting to it, and I'm just going to put that on a separate video. But I went ahead and put some of these vinyl decals on, and they work kind of like transfers. This is one right here. You just basically take off the front clear section, which then exposes the sticky part of the decal, and then you place it down like so, and then you use like a squeegee or something to rub onto the surface that you're applying to, and then you take off the backing, and that's what you get. Transfer decals. Now there's the regular decals too. Those I really don't mess around with very often. The transfer ones are the ones that you want to get. I think those are the same ones. They're probably transfer for like the fat heads, I'm assuming. I doubt they're regular decals. But on to the next one, which is a regular decal, and we're going to go into the other room. Now this one is actually a decal, and this thing was a pain in the butt. I actually got this off of AliExpress, which I really don't like buying stuff from there because it's just really cheap. But then again, it's really cheap, right? So this whole thing shipped was only like $5.50. It's a pretty big size. This one's like 2 feet. The problem with it is it's a regular decal, so you actually have to stick this onto the wall. Whereas most of them you just would lay down, just like I showed you in the last one. You'd put it all down, get it straight, and then transfer it over. This one just, you know, you can see where the circle's off. And when you're doing this, if you are doing a decal, if you're doing something with a circle, it's almost impossible to do because you literally have to get the decal on there perfect to make the perfect circle. If you're off by a millimeter or 1/10 of a millimeter, you're going to end up getting gapping, which I'll get really close. You can see where some of it's gapped, where I kind of had to fold it over. And the only reason why that still worked on this wall is because it's a textured wall, whereas most of your like fathead decals and stuff, they tell you to have it on a flat surface. I put it on a textured wall, and then I weathered it with some white spray paint, you can see in here. And then I actually scratched off some pieces so it looked weathered. And so because of that, if I zoom out, you really can't tell. It just looks like it's part of the wall. And it actually looks pretty good. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or not, but that's your example of just a regular decal. You can use decals. It's just, especially this one being round, and the fact that it had all this text in it, it just, when I took it off the paper, it just all folded up. So I do like how it came out though. It's part of the, I just wanted to add something there. And if you haven't seen my Empire room, I'm not going to show the whole thing, but this is my Star Wars wall if you haven't seen it before. Got a bunch of shelves I'm working on down here. Got a lot of stuff, as I'm always telling you guys. So anyways, back into the last set of decals. And that is a helmet decal. Let me set this back down so the camera won't shake as much. And we'll move our Darth Maul out of the way. And that is a helmet decal. Now here, this is a Black Series Stormtrooper helmet, and I actually applied a vinyl Commander decal to the helmet. I think it looks really cool. I mean, like, I really like it a lot. Now I know that the Commander wasn't part of the original trilogy or anything, but the way I'm going to be doing the display, I just felt it best just to add this. I just thought it looked really cool. And he does look really cool. Putting on the decals was a little difficult, not really. I made a separate video when I was actually putting this on, so if you want to go ahead and take a look at that, and I'm going to talk about a few other things in the video regarding the display of the Black Series Stormtrooper helmet. Excuse me as well. So take a look at that video and then we'll come right back. I guess since the video said, I'm going to show it really quickly. So this is the decal kit that I purchased. There's no instructions with it. It seemed to be easier to apply if I took out the lenses. So this is actually a brand new Black Series helmet. I haven't put it together obviously, which makes it much easier to take out the lenses. And to be quite honest with you, I don't even know how to take this apart once you put it together, but this seemed pretty easy. The decals are pretty easy to put on. They're like a stretch decal, so it allows you to pull it off and put it back on, kind of like a vinyl. And yeah, it was pretty simple. I mean, it took a couple of tries to get it lined up, and then it does get a few little bubbles in it, but you just kind of smooth it out. And there it is. I'm gonna now put the helmet together, and then I guess I'll also show you how I paint the inside. Okay, so we're back, and as again you can see the completed Commander helmet. I since have spoken to, or I've emailed the guy who sells these kits, and you are supposed to, actually with the Commander kit, you are supposed to cut a couple of the pieces to size. He also makes the same kit, but it's weathered, so like the paint looks chipped. And he also makes the shock troopers as well in blue and red. Kits run from like 23 to 25 bucks. Might seem a little bit expensive, but it allows you to take your Black Series helmet and customize them, and again, I think it does look really cool. So on to the last part, which you don't have to do with the helmet. I do it because I use these helmets strictly for display. Is I paint the inside of the helmet and the lenses. And the reason why I do that, and I'll just show you in the room really quickly, and we'll grab the helmet. Walk this way. So when you're displaying these helmets inside of a cabinet, if they have direct light, It's kind of hard to see on this particular one. I'll kind of show you on this helmet. I've actually painted some of the inside of it. You see how, obviously, I mean, we have light shining up inside of it. Well, on top of the helmet, if you have like direct light shining right down on it, it kind of penetrates into the plastic and gives it like a yellowish type tinge. So that's one reason why I paint the top. Now you can't really see it in this helmet being in the cabinet, but hopefully what you can see is the inside of the lenses. You can see that they're green, and you can kind of see the straps inside there. All right. Whereas if you use some paint, I'll switch out helmets, excuse me. When this one's in the cabinet, it'll definitely be all solid white, but you can see the lenses are black and they almost kind of have a reflective tint to them. I think it looks much better than having the green and being able to see in there. And again, this is only if you're going to have them like in direct light. So that's why we do the painting. And we're going to go here. I'm going to show you really quickly how to do that. Come back over here to the kitchen. So what I use for this is I use tempera paint, which looks like this. It's a water-based paint, so even if you're like, hey, why are you going to paint the lenses and you won't be able to see in the helmet? Well, one, I'm not going to be using, let me set this down, I'm not going to be actually using the helmets as far as wearing them goes. So I'm not concerned about that, but if I decided to in the future, if I wanted to, it's really simple to be able to wipe off the paint because it is a water-based paint. Get this plastic out of the way. I think before I actually taped it, I'll just do this really quickly. Is it in camera shot? All right, good enough. Okay, showing you how extremely easy this is. So I'm actually just gonna drop some of the paint down on the bottom. Real time, no magic done here. I'm sure it looks great for video. Then I'm gonna take my brush, and all I'm doing is just, I can't hold the camera and do this at the same time, but all I'm doing is just whisking the brush around on the bottom, or excuse me, on the inside of the helmet. We'll just show you really quickly. Get a little bit more in here. I also use this for weathering, although black shoe polish or brown shoe polish or just black wash works better, but you can use this. It's much more forgiving, especially if you're doing it for the first time. Alright, straps are getting in the way. Well, that's good enough. We'll just do that. Just brush over here. Grab the camera up. So you can see now how I painted that black. I'll let that dry, and so if there's any like really heavy light shining on the top of the helmet, it won't look transparent at all. It'll just look solid, and I'll do the same paint on the lenses as well. And then they'll be ready for display. So if you have any questions or comments regarding anything that you've seen here today, the trunk decals, you can guess on the other stuff with the hidden Easter eggs, vinyl decals. As far as these kits go, you can get them, I believe it's 503made.com, and then just do a search for Stormtroopers, and you'll see the different kits that are available. Tell them that Scooby sent you, and you'll get a discount. No, I'm just kidding. You won't get any discount. I'm not getting paid for I'm not getting paid or compensated for giving out websites. I just do them if I think the things are cool. I just do it just to do it. Although he did say he was going to send me a shock trooper kit. I didn't need it, and he didn't send it, but I didn't really like insist that he send it either because I wouldn't use it. I think I was going to give it away to one of my viewers. Oh, I guess that kind of sucks. Well, anyways, that's it. Again, questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, and I shall talk to you guys later, and have a fantastic week.